What's up, everyone? Joe Gray here today with another live stream for the GGC, joined by my dude Yogi from Freak Athlete. I'll let him introduce himself in just a second. Today is day 2 of Prize. Well, technically it's day 3 of Prize Week, but day 2 of live streams for Prize Week because I take Tuesdays off. We are going to kick it off with 3 winners right now for the Xmark barbells that are up for grabs. Let me change our screen real quick. And I'm going to add a quick image. That's the wrong one. Let me find my stuff. Please hold. Sponsor. Nope, no. Winner announcement. Spring. Xmark is there. It's loading. There we go. Okay. Let's do this one. Nope, that one looks dumb too. Let's do this one. There, that one works. Okay. Xmark is tossing up 3 different barbells. Got any of the wins from my wife or I? Keith Honeycutt. What's up, dude? No wine cellar. Maybe anybody can win. Anybody except for Yogi, because Yogi doesn't participate. So, but anybody who lifted could win. So, all right.
Hey. I don't want to make the rest of the world feel, inadequate after my.
We'll talk about that later. Xmark, so 3 bars. So their Big Easy is the bar that's pictured on the flyer there. That's their dedicated squat bar. They got the Catahoula barbell and Steel Magnolia that are both kind of multi-purpose bars that are going up today. And our winners are, so for the Steel Magnolia, is my dude Christopher, so goes by Choangy, Choangy on Instagram. We got Jason taking home the Catahoula barbell, so he's on YouTube. And then James, which goes by Occupational Therabeast on Instagram, is taking home the Big Easy. So we'll take a look at their lists in a second. But let's kick it over to my dude Yogi. Let me bring up your guys' flyer so now we can talk about that a little bit more.
Before I even start, you purposely didn't pick me to be a winner of the bar book. I enter every single time. Yeah, I never.
Yeah, every single time. Yeah. I scrub the list and I make sure Yogi's not on there. So
every single time I applied. Yeah. I'm gonna make a fake account next time. I'm gonna apply.
You should make a dozen and just up the numbers. It'll be great. So
it's a numbers game. You're absolutely right.
Yogi, tell the people who you are, why you're here.
So I am Yogi. I'm one of the owners and head of product at Freak Athlete, and I am here to talk with you about home gym stuff, talk about the garage gym competition, and we're gonna announce a winner for the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro.
Yep, and annoy me for an hour, right?
Hey! I think it's a privilege.
Privilege. All right, so we're gonna announce the Hyper Pro winner at about 5 o'clock. Yogi's gonna take off, and I'll wrap up things at that point. But let's put that away for a little bit. Yogi, tell the people what's going on new at Freak Athlete right now. So what's happened in the last couple of months?
So as you guys know, we did launch the belt squat recently. And it's just an easy way to add more versatility to an already very versatile machine. So we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the community. And again, the belt squat was inspired by customers. Okay, everything we do gets inspired by our customers. They give us feedback. They give us notes. They love this. They don't love this. They believe this is a real movement. They don't. And so that's what we do is we listen. And we go in and make changes based off of what people say. So,
cool.
Yeah, the belt squat has been our most latest upgrade to the Hyper Pro. And yeah, people are seeming to be loving it a lot.
I can bring up a video that I did on it, I believe. If I can.
The one with the fake weights?
Yeah, the one with the fake weights. There we go. Okay. So this was me using it. So, because people asked how much you could load up.
That was one of the most common questions that we would always get is how much weight can you put on? again, those weights look incredibly real, Joe.
I pay a really good factory for some high grade knockoffs. So.
Yeah. You have very impressionable viewers. Okay, you got to be careful. You can't let people know this is real. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like truly, like that is insane. Like just looking at that makes my knee want to pop.
Yeah. All right. I'm pretty sure I could have loaded up with more if, I felt like I needed to, but that was probably good enough for 99.9% of people. So
Yeah.
I know a few comments where I had some people say things like, "Oh, that might not be enough for," and they tried to say like, someone stronger or something, whatever. And I was like, yeah, well, it's because what does it cost? Isn't it like under $200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost that much. Yeah.
Yeah. It comes with the belt, it comes with the calf block, and it attaches to a piece that you already have. And I'm like, so let's compare that to like the Rhino, which is $2,400, is a giant, space eating machine. They're two different things. Like just because they both have the word belt squat in their product title, they're definitely meant for different people. They're definitely meant for different audiences, etc. So I use mine for calf raises because calf block as well. The belt squat piece, RDLs, a couple of different things. So
actually,
easy.
I actually forgot about this. It is now free, included with your leg developer. So if you buy a leg developer,
oh really?
For free, included.
Is that a temporary promotion or a long-term thing?
Well, right now it seems to be long-term on our end. Again, we play around with pricing based off of what we have to pay as tariffs go up and down. We want to give the consumer the best price that we possibly can, and the goal at the end of the day is to help as many people as we can. Right? Something like this for someone to be able to do belt squats if they're having a lot of back pain or whatever. This is a really good alternative to not load the spine.
Yep. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I was not aware of that. So I will have to update my notes when I put out my review, which hopefully will come out in the next couple of weeks. So I kept, I was going to.
Joe, it's simple. Okay. Buy the product. This is the best. You're good to go.
Yeah, I was going to do it. I was going to put it out. And then you guys were like, hey, by the way, we're going to send you the cable attachment piece. And I was like, all right, let's wait. And then it was, okay, I'm going to put it out. And you're like, hey, we're going to do this belt squat thing. And I was like, oh, cool. I guess I get to wait even longer. But yeah, that's cool. Well, what's the deal with the cable attachment piece? I know people bought them pre-ordered, right? But you can't buy it yet after that, right?
So you can what's it called? As for the cable attachment, right now it ships on June 30th. Okay. Because we placed an order for a certain amount, and then once we ran through that of the people who supported us early, and they got theirs, and we've gotten really good feedback from like comments on like they love the product.
Yeah, it's been our go-to since it's been in the gym. So even my wife prefers it over the FT2 setup. So. I know that was Yogi had asked me months back. He's like, Joe, why do you still have your Inspire FT2? And I was like, well, the leg developer connects into the cable piece. He's like, what do I have to do to get you to get rid of that? I was like, make the leg developer on the Hyper work with the cable piece. And that's like, I'm
telling you, the whole reason it was ever created was because of you. I was like, I gotta do something to get him to get rid of this stuff.
It's all my fault, but it's good. I like it. So.
If you guys see a new attachment coming out for the Hyper Pro ever, is because of him.
No Fate is here. Yogi, you ever talked to Jonathan before?
Oh yeah, Jonathan's a sick dude. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a crazy man. Hey, no fighting people in the Discord in the chat tonight, okay? He's a crazy dude. Do you happen to watch? He did his AMA recently, or no, soon. You're doing your AMA soon, right? Is it like tomorrow or something? He's doing his AMA soon over on Reddit, and we did his warm up call, and he went off on a tangent, just destroying people. I had to afterwards go, I just disclaimer, that's not my beef, it's his beef. You go after him.
Did I make the list or no?
You weren't on the list, luckily. So I think
bad things about Yogi.
I think Freak Athlete came up, but I think it was
in a good way,
stuff.
obviously.
It wasn't bad stuff. So Jonathan, I'll look up your date for you, man. So all right, let's take a look at a few people's lifts. So we're gonna start off with a couple from yesterday.
Can I preface this by just letting everybody know that I was not allowed to compete because the numbers that I was lifting were too high?
Yeah.
And okay, just want to make sure.
Yep. I'm excited for Yogi. So by the way, Yogi, most of the guests help give coaching feedback and technique cues to lifters. So I'm really excited to see what Yogi's feedback is for some of our athletes and how they can squat, bench, and deadlift more today.
All right, let's get this feedback going here.
All right,
I gotta remember, I'm a very brutally honest person, so I'm just
you're a straight shooter, right?
That's right. I'm a straight shooter.
Every time Yogi calls me, that's the first words out of his mouth. Joe, I'm a straight shooter. I can get right to the point. Oh.
I was gonna say it for this podcast, but I was like, I'll leave it.
Oh, that's fine, my dude. Joke. All right, so here's Ben. Ben took home the Maximum Advantage Grip prizes yesterday, which is a big one. He, oddly enough, him and I were talking. He's got a cable set up, but he's got like all these janky, funky ones. And I was like, dude, you need to get some actual cable attachments. And he kept trying to give me some excuse about budget or something, which I don't really understand. So he ended up winning his choice of 3 mag grips. And then he's like, well, which ones do I pick? So then I sent him my article that tells him which ones to pick. And he's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. You already had all that. So he should have a couple here soon, which should be cool.
I've sent your blog to so many people who are literally looking to they have so many questions for me. They're like, what do I do here? What do I buy for this? Yeah. Like, hold on a second. Here's the page.
This dude's got the answer, I promise. Yeah. It's either me or Jonathan have the answer. And if it's anything about Prime, then Mr. Man Who Parks in Gym saves 5 at Prime Fitness has the answer. So, all right, let's take a look. Los besos que me diste, mi amor, son los que me están matando. Mis lágrimas. All right, Yogi, do you quick math? Any idea how much he's squatting there? Can you do
wait, you can't put me on the spot. There's too much math. That's 4 45s. It looks like a 25 and 10 and 2.5. Am I correct?
I think you're correct. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Nice done, sir. So pretty solid SSB squat from my dude. So normally the safety squat bar is going to pitch you forward a little bit more since it's got you upright with the camber. So that little bit out of the hole is perfectly normal, especially for a max attempt. He was rehabbing a shoulder strain, so that 315 is a little light on his end. Easy peasy for a single. That's about what you warm up with, right, Yogi?
Not even.
Yeah.
we go at least 4 or 5 plates.
And then.
Wow, even with a shoulder injury, not bad.
Yeah. So he was aiming for about a 600-pound deadlift, And I know he had a similar whatever. It must because so he actually lives in Elk Grove, so real close to where I am. So about in between me and where Benji is in Walnut Creek. And he was aiming for a big deadlift PR, and then it just fell apart. And it was the same thing for me. Like I was looking, like my app told me 650 a couple of weeks out, and then I ended up pulling like 565 and went, that's all I got today. So I don't know what happened, but here we are. So
there are certain days. There are certain days where it comes out of the blue, and you're just like, I'm feeling it today. Let's just hit these numbers. And there are days where you actually prep, do all your things, get the night's sleep, and then you go into the gym. And you're like, no, the music doesn't hit you as hard.
Yep. Something's missing. So. Joey, what's up, dude? Joey in the chat took home 2 different awards last week. All kinds of good stuff. So for deadliest lift, and what did you win for? You won for was it RPE or prettiest powerlifter? You gotta remind me.
What's the deadliest lift?
Do you know who Mark Rosenberg is? He goes by Deadliest Lift on Instagram. So he does just the literal dumbest things you can think of. He'll stand on top of like 2 plates that are stacked up vertical and then deadlift 700 pounds off of it or something. All kinds of wild stuff. So he's like a Juji. You ever watch any of Juji's old stuff? Juji Mufu's?
Yes.
Crazy thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Things like that.
I'm looking at it right now. This is crazy.
Mark's out of his mind. So Mark joined us last week, and we went through anyone who checked the box on the submission form for deadliest lift, and we picked out the top 3 people who did some of the craziest stuff in the GGC. His page right now is blowing up like crazy because he's got his own competition where they do. He calls it the Snap City Open. And so some of the videos are people doing just wild stuff, absolutely wild stuff. But yeah, what's crazy with him is the fact that he can do that crazy stuff, and it's with weight that like other people just can't even lift normally.
Yeah.
So,
I'm watching the video of the one where he had the 2 plates stacked up right now.
Yeah.
And the video starts off with a bar falling on his foot, but
yeah.
This is crazy. I've actually seen this guy before.
He's wild. He was at Home Gym Con last year and did some monster like tire deadlift thing. And then he's been reposted by Arnold and a couple other people and stuff. So
I can see it. He lifted with the Mayhem plates, and I see that. What a beast.
Yeah. So I think his best deadlift is something in the 1,000-pound range. So
1,000 pounds.
Yeah. So which is it is. I don't even know how that works. So, but
that's insane.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we're going to take a look at a mother and daughter combo. So the GGC partnered with Wait It Out a while back to make a kids barbell. So I'm going to take a look at our video. So I got asked a whole bunch about, hey, what bar should a kid use? And I never had a good answer. So then we just went out and had one made. And so Wait It Out sells it for us on their store. I designed the end cap. I wanted it to specifically be like that kid's barbell. So you'll see you actually can write their name on the end cap. So it's got the apostrophe S. So that's Audrey wrote Audrey. So it's Audrey's bar. Yep. And so your kid can write their own name on the end cap. So that way it's their actual bar. So that way they know, hey, when I go out there, that one's mine. And then so watch the rest of the clip. And Audrey load up her plates. And then her ammonia. So her ammonia has Like it's like some essential oils in there. So she's got like eucalyptus and stuff. So
Sniffing some eucalyptus.
yeah. So she asked me at one point. She's like, my ammonia smells really good. What does yours smell like? I'm like, death. It smells terrible. Not even close to the same thing.
Look at that! What a beast!
Yeah.
Yo, I know many adults who can't lift a plate on each side. You
I
understand?
know.
That? I know many adults who can't do that. That's a beast right there.
Yep, she's a monster. So, one of our winners for the GGC is taking home one of these bars for their kid. So it was our first ever kid winner. So we're gonna watch mom first. So this is Stevie. So Stevie is married to Lee. Both of them compete in the GGC and have for quite a bit. Lee is I think he got it's like a 1,700 pound total or something for the GGC, and that was what he rated at like an RPE 8 or something. So he hit like a double on a couple of things, and he's a unit, to use your term from earlier. And his wife is no slouch either. Since I think it's hard to tell with the bumpers, I'm thinking those are 45s plus 25s plus another maybe 25. I have to look up the math total, but she's going to pull it for a couple of reps pretty easily.
Wow, let's go.
So she's a savage, and so their kid is going to just terrorize the powerlifting world, which is going to be fun to watch. So when I saw their name come up for the kids bar, I was excited. So we'll watch their daughter pull a deadlift on what would be her old bar now. So.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, fantastic. She's
Hey, look, that's called raising the bar, okay? Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So yeah. Very awesome. So they're gonna get the GGC Junior bar from Weighted Out, and she's gonna crush some PRs and break some people's hopes and dreams. So it's gonna be cool.
Again,
so.
I hope can't lift any weight that she was lifting.
Yep. Yeah, I tell my daughter all the time. She's like, "Is that?" She'll say something like, "Is that good for an 8-year-old?" I go, "Friend, most people don't even know what the hell a deadlift is, right? Like you are so far ahead of the vast majority of people on the planet at 8 years old that you like know what a deadlift is. You know the right technique, like you know how to move, you know how to hip hinge, right? It's just like such a weird thing for most people.
Just a hip hinge. People don't know what that is when it's one of the most important movements any human being should be able to do.
Yeah. Everybody just picks stuff up like this. That's it, right? It's just let me round my back entirely and pick up everything in my life.
Let me make a full C. Jefferson curled his bar up.
So very cool to see that one. Let's see what else we got for tonight. I got so Plate Snacks handed out a bunch of stuff yesterday as well. So a bunch of gift cards. We got a couple of things that I'll show off from them. Let me do an image. So they ended up they are our official sticker printers for the GGC. So let's see if this will load or not.
Plate Snacks makes the thing a lot more fun. Where you got like donuts.
Yep.
And
so So this is our spring GGC sticker. So everyone who participates, who checked the box and wanted a sticker, we're going to send them out. I think it was somewhere around 350-ish people asked for them. So he printed them, sent them. I actually have them too. So full bag of them right here. So
nice.
Yeah. Should be fun. So Audrey and a couple of her friends will show up in a couple weeks, and they create a assembly line, and they put them all in the envelopes and stuff, and then we pay them for their work. And so the first time I told her we were going to do that, I was like, "What do you think you should be paid?" And she was like, "Well," she's trying to figure it out. I go, "Normally people get paid by the hour." She goes, $50 an hour. And I'm like, I go, I'm glad you went high, Fred. But how about we come back down to minimum wage?
You know what? She values her time. Okay, Joe, you gotta respect that.
Yeah,
She
I told her.
values
I
time.
was like, that's way better than starting off at 2 or something like that, man. So
If she, I would, in my mind, I would think she would have said like $1 an hour or something.
yeah, no, she went for it. So
I would have had if I was there, I would have had a side council. I'm like, up.
Yeah. So she works, like I said, and a couple of her friends come over, and I essentially, supervise. So I tell them, hey, you got to put this sticker and this thing or whatever in the envelope. Then you got to put the address label on, and then the stamp, and then you hand it to me, and then I double check it and make sure it's all good, and then we move it on. And so it's worked out pretty well. The kids make some money.
What do you mean? You don't just trust her? You have to double check her work.
They did. The first time they did it, they made a lot of mistakes. So I had to catch a bunch of stuff. This last time they did it, the only thing they messed up on was because occasionally we have people who have friends that come over and lift with them, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll want a sticker for everyone who participated. So maybe they want like 12 or something. And so I'll put a number next to the address label, so it'll have their name, so it'll be John Smith 12 or something. And I told them, if you see those, you have to put 12 in that one. That way I don't use 12 stamps and 12 envelopes and whatever to send out 12 stickers. And that's the one thing that they didn't do very well this last time. So I had to double check all the ones that had extra numbers on them.
I can't blame them. Okay, after 8, I get confused. Like, what's happening?
I'm just amazed that they can see straight by the end of it, because it's such the repetitive task of just sticker, envelope, stamp thing, sticker, envelope, stamp thing. Like at a certain point, your brain just melts into mush. So I'm glad they're doing it, not me.
Like our friends come by and lift. Like that's such a good positive thing for kids now. Like your kids, like they're building a community where people are like-minded, lifting and training and being healthy.
Yep. Yeah. We so as a coach, I started looking into stuff and started reading and went, okay, and you might know the exact number, but it's so girls in like high school have something like an 80% increase in like ACL, MCL tears or something like that over boys. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's wild. Why? So I start looking into some of the stuff, and most of it says, well, you've got puberty, right? Is one piece. So boys hit puberty, they get a testosterone bump, they get some muscle that kind of just naturally comes from that time in life. And that muscle helps them protect their lengthening joints, bones, soft tissue, whatever, different things, ligaments, etc. Girls don't get that testosterone bump. They just get taller, wider, etc. And they've been a high level athlete for several years. And now all of a sudden everything's in a different place and they get hurt. And so like my daughter just finished flag football, and her coach and one of the other coaches, both high school girls, so 2 out of the like 8 that I talked to just got done with knee surgery. And I'm like, you're 17 and 18. That's freaking wild. Like that can't possibly be ridiculous. That can't be the price of being a female athlete. Like that's just nuts. And so everything I read says, and then one is puberty, 2 is the social stigma of guys, it's okay to be strong and muscular and, a man, right? And girls are not supposed to lift because it's not feminine. And so the flip to that is okay, well, if you want your kids to play sports, if you got a girl and want them to not fall apart, they got to lift from an early age, because you got to build that muscle, that coordination, that strength before they get there. So then that way, once puberty hits, they already have it built, right? They already have all of that connective structure. The bones are stronger, the ligaments are stronger, everything's ready for whatever that might be. Because these girls aren't even getting hurt in contact sports. They're literally like just running down their field and their knee blows out, right?
Yeah. It's also that the knee is very like we don't train through a full range of motion anymore.
Yeah.
Like people do like partial reps and like just become very stiff. So like number one, let a kid be a kid. Let them do full squats, jump around, do everything they need to do to stay mobile. But absolutely, strength is like there's just no reason not to do it. There's literally people. The one thing I don't understand is even my wife. She goes, if I lift, I'm gonna get big. I'm like, that's not how it works. If it was that easy.
I have to forward you. So Stronger by Science just sent out an email this morning. Do you subscribe to them by chance?
Stronger by Science?
Yeah. So it's a handful of guys who all have PhDs and stuff like that, and they're in the strength, conditioning, bodybuilding, powerlifting, etc. world. And so the email that went out today was actually, oddly enough, should kids lift weights? And it was around like, will that stunt their growth and stuff?
Yeah. And old myth. That if
that's what they said. They're like,
it's gonna stunt their growth.
Yeah. Yeah. The only way that works at all is if you're an idiot and you have no idea what you're doing, and your kid is just throwing around hundreds of pounds of, plates and doesn't know what they're doing, right? But I would also say that would be the same thing as if you put them in sports and don't prepare them for that at all or anything, right? So if your kid gets injured, it could potentially lead to, developmental issues, whether it's in the weight room or not. So, but yeah. And then the other piece that they answered in there, he specifically was talking to what you just said, which was, he says, a lot of people will say, I don't want to get too big. And they'll make that context in relation to like kids, like, oh, if my kid lifts weights, they'll get jacked, right? And he goes, that's not how that works, like for anybody, right? The chances that you will accidentally get too big from lifting weights of any kind is impossible. Like, you'd have to be a genetic freak for that to happen. Like, it's like it takes years and years of consistent effort in and out of the gym to put on any kind of significant muscle that would put you in the realm of people going, he looks a little too big, right? Like,
I mean, people say that about me all the time,
Yeah.
Like,
I know. Yeah. It's because you work so hard with all your heavy squats and deadlifts and stuff. So
no. You don't need to do that to gain weight. You need to juice.
Oh, there you go. Like drink juice or like inject juice?
I mean,
a little bit of both. Yeah. Yeah. So it made me laugh reading that today, because I've had those conversations over and over and over again with people. They'll make some comment about, well, like, again, is it okay for my daughter to, lift whatever? And I go, yeah. I mean, don't walk in on day one, load up a bar with 225 and tell your 7-year-old to pick it up off the ground. Like, that sounds like a bad idea. But
that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Can you teach them to squat? Like, start body weight, then do some goblets, then, just continue to transition. Can you teach them to, you don't bench, you do push-ups first, right? You don't deadlift with a straight bar first. You just learn how to pick something up off the ground correctly. You know, the girls that we have come over on Sundays, we're doing like medicine ball work a lot of times. So I'm teaching them how to like stand over the medicine ball, get down correctly, get under it, keep that brace, use your back, but also your legs to lift and get it up into place, right? And so and then I'm having them walk with it, so it's a way to carry. So I'm teaching them how to breathe and brace and everything while in movement. And I'm telling their parents, I'm like, look, if they can do that, they're going to be good. Like if you can walk around with 25 pounds like this, right, and don't look like here or here or whatever, right?
If you
Yeah,
stabilize
like,
while walking like that, like
yeah,
that's very, very important for kids to understand. Something you could also start implementing is teaching them how to round their spine properly, because that is a human movement, right? That is a movement that people, because in the world out there, everything is not perfectly symmetrical, right? So being able to round your back, doing a Zercher or a Jefferson curl, for example, is incredibly important for kids to understand. But when moving actual weight like that, yes, learn how to brace your core, straight spine, hip hinge, lift with intent, you know?
Yeah, one of the big ones, we talked about this a lot last week and the week before, actually, when we were doing coaching cues for people, was we talked about, like, in the deadlift, as a good example, we want to see, like, you don't have to be like this, right? If you start here, as long as you stay there throughout the lift, we're good. We don't want to see movement necessarily while loaded.
It depends on the movement. Depends on the movement. But like a Jefferson curl. Again, I'm a huge proponent of that movement, because you start off completely straight, and then spine, what's it called? By spine, you go down, 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 all the way down, and then you lift all the way back up.
Yeah. But people are also doing that for not a 600-pound deadlift on their first try kind of thing.
You're mainly doing this for like lighter weight to begin with, like a small kettlebell or something, like one of the big things that I think that, like, I love is kettlebells, because it's so versatile. People can hold on to it for goblet squats and so many different things. People have to understand, you don't need to lift super heavy to be healthy, right? Speaking for kids, give them a kettlebell, dumbbell, or whatever, and have them do a bunch of reps. That's also really good for them.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I saw my doctor recently. We were talking about it, and he asked me about my daughter lifting, and I said, well, she only does 1 rep maxes twice a year. Like, that's it, right? Otherwise, she's doing sets of 5, 10, 15 kind of thing on repeat, because that's like, it's something you learn through powerlifting. Even early on, you're like, oh, my best is 180. Now I'm going to do 185 tomorrow. Then I'm going to do 190 the day after. And then, like, you just keep trying to tack on more weight, right? Because, like, you could just do a 1 rep max every single time. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, that's not actually how I get stronger, right? I get stronger by doing repeated effort over and over and over and over and over and over. And these test days are more like your games in a sport, right? You should be having 2 or 3 practices a week at least before you have a game on the weekends, kind of thing. So all right, man. So let's jump into a couple more lifters. We've got, so that's our sticker, by the way. So,
am I getting a sticker?
If you want one.
Yeah, I want one.
Okay, we'll make sure you get one. Let's see who else we got today. We're going to take a look at Lindsay. So Lindsay won a Strength Warehouse gift card, so $500. There were 4 people who were taking home gift cards. Strength Warehouse has a whole bunch of things from a lot of different companies, so they'll be able to add a bar, plates, machines, all kinds of different stuff. So Lindsay is a geared lifter, so her lifts are going to look a little bit different. I think she's wearing briefs here, so her squat's going to be really wide. You can see her toes are like basically under the crossbars for the rack. which is common for the geared lifts. And she's going to sit back like crazy and then up.
What a beast. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like 400 plus pounds. And so same thing. So you can see, have you ever watched anyone lift with like gear on before, Yogi?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
so
like a giant, like.
Yep.
Like,
so she's got a bench shirt on right here is what it is. So you can see it goes all the way up to her elbows and then comes down and covers. And so what she's got to do predominantly is really control that weight because it's so tight, the shirt, that you have to keep it in the groove so it goes to the right spot because it's essentially like a slingshot. It just throws it back up for you. So now you still have to lift the weight, but like that's the hard part is controlling it down and in the right position as opposed to just letting it free fall. A lot of times as a raw bencher, you see guys just kind of and then try and get it up. You would die in a bench shirt. So she's got like maybe right around 300 on the bar here. Up. Yeah.
What a freaking beast.
Yeah. And then so maybe 375-ish for the deadlift. Which looks like
Look at that.
Mostly all out. Yeah. Ridiculous. So monster lifts. She took home one of our top athlete spots as well. She was one of the top 3 females for the spring GGC. So she had a good run for the spring. So her boyfriend Travis is the dude spotting her there. He was on last week as well. He helped us we did our most 10 RPE lifts. So we watched a bunch of people who claimed they gave it 110%. We picked our top 3. The guy who ended up winning, so Travis was the judge. The guy who ended up winning had like a 10-second bench. So hit his chest, came up, and it took him a full 10 seconds to finish that rep and bracket. It was nasty. It was nasty.
Oh my god! even fresh, like that just sounds like.
Yeah. Well, just think about like if you try to do a 10-second like lowering phase on a push-up, that would be terrible, right? Let alone with like a PR weight in your hands. So
when I'm benching anything more than like 4 seconds, I just ask the spotter to help.
I agree. Yep. Nope. I don't got it. I didn't help.
10 seconds. That shows you determination right there.
He was locked in. Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna watch. So let's watch Chongi's lifts. So he's one of the ones who took home a bar from Xmark today. We live announced at the beginning here. So he's competed in a lot of the GGCs. He typically has a group that joins him as well. I think they go by like Dungeons and Donuts or something like that, or Dungeons and Deadlifts. And so, yeah, it's their D&D group that also lifts together, which is a pretty good combo. Solid squat. I think he said he added 10 pounds to his total from last time. That looked like an easy peasy bench for my dude.
He definitely had more weight on that.
Yeah.
Like he
easy. Nice. Yeah. Sometimes you load it up and you go, okay, it worked. And then you try and load up a couple more pounds and then it just doesn't work. So there's a chance he went for a little bit more and he tapped out. So
sometimes that song hits you just the right amount.
Mm-hmm, it does. Let's see. Who else?
Instead of ammonia, I use essential oils also, the lemongrass and the eucalyptus. That's where my jam is.
It works. Let's see. What do we got? We'll take a look at, I'm trying to find one. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is Little Red. She took home a prize pack from Papa Bear, so Travis Rogers. So Travis was our fall nonprofit a couple of years ago. He's pretty consistently in our top 3, if not top 1 athlete for the GGC every time. He had a 2106 total or something for the spring. So yeah, like an 8 was it 700 squat, 700 deadlift, and like 5 something bench, or I don't know, something gross. So yeah,
for me, the hardest lift is the bench. That's the one that I always like. That I see some of these numbers and I'm like, how? Like if I even lift that up, that's just gonna pop right through me.
Yep. So Travis actually, weirdly enough, about a week later, he tore his pec. So I think he's recovering from that. I gotta check in with him and see how bad it was. But sometimes when you're a savage, it catches up with you. So savage, yeah. The other crazy thing with Travis is, so he's like 5'4" or something, like 220, just a solid brick of steel, covered in tattoos from head to toe, and he's a PE teacher in high school. So so I'm sure kids walk in the first day and just go, "Oh shit, this isn't the one to mess around on." So, but yeah, he's an awesome dude. His nonprofit raises money for kids in his area. When we helped him, they spent all the money that we sent over to buy food for the local food shelter. So most of the kids in his area are on free lunch programs. And so when they don't have school, weirdly enough, they don't have food, right? So Christmas break, summer break, stuff like that, a lot of them go hungry. And so by being able to help stock up the food pantries, those kids can keep eating. So kind of important. So he does some cool stuff.
People don't realize it. Like you got to support your local shelters and like help the people who don't have the resources or any reason there. But everybody deserves the help.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at her lifts. So she's taking home a prize pack from Travis, which is going to be probably sleeves and wraps and ammonia and chalk and all kinds of shirts and different stuff. And Travis makes all the designs himself. So he's an artist as well. Looks like we got about 155-ish, I think. I think those are 10s and 45s.
Right? Or no?
I think those are the Rogue 45 ones.
Okay.
They're like the almost kind of calibrated. So
legendary, dude. Look at that form.
Yeah. Hi, Sierra. What's up, Inca? I missed you hopping in, dude. A lot of reps on those squats. The bench. Easy peasy with a little Nelly in the background. From an anonymous commenter, Yogi is the best.
Hey, look at that! Look. That's crazy. This is my fans.
Very good lifts there. All right, we got 10 minutes. You want to announce the winner of the Hyper Pro?
All right, let's go.
All right, so let's bring up the flyer. Okay, so first tell people about it, what all they're taking home, the whole deal. So they get one of everything. So what are they looking at?
So basically you get the Hyper Pro, the basic bench to begin with that can do all the different movements, and you get the GHD attachment. So that's the big FA logo pad that converts your machine into a full-size GHD. Then you also get a leg developer where you can do leg extensions, hamstring curls, and along with that, you get the upper body kit. So for those who don't have a cable machine, it's a great replacement. And then you get the belt squat, calf raise, along with the calf block. So you get the whole bundle. Everything is included. So yeah, who is the winner?
Which is like 57-1 or something at this point, right?
No. That is a 203 in one.
Okay. The Hyper Pro is regularly used in our gym. I think I used it Monday for GHD sit-ups. My wife uses it most weekends. I think I'll use it tomorrow for, I think, back extensions. And for leg extensions. I use it Monday for leg curls as well. It does a lot, and it does it all pretty dang good. So it's replaced quite a few pieces in our space. So I think our winner is going to be pretty happy. So, all right. So our winner of the Hyper Pro, which I know is one of the big ones that people keep their eye on, is, I'm going to bring up his list right here.
Mr.
Thomas Falk. So
Let's
Thomas
go.
wins. Yeah. So Thomas, congrats, dude. I'll make that official announcement over on Instagram. But Thomas has taken home the Hyper Pro and all the goodies. I'm not positive if this is his gym or his friends, or they share it, or what's going on, but I know a couple of them lift together. So take a look at Thomas's lifts.
Go, buddy. Come on, Tom. Go, buddy.
What a great song, too.
What's that?
The song in the background was also really good.
We had one the other day. What was it, like was it Christina Aguilera or something like that? Like, I always laugh when it's something like very not, hardcore, like kind of thing. So.
Look. Sometimes the most ridiculous songs will hit you. Like there was one time we were lifting, and the radio was on, and all of a sudden Katy Perry's fireworks or Firefly or something like that came on, and I was like, This is great. Let's go.
Come on. Yeah, you got it.
Good finish on the bench.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Nice.
You can just see the look in his eyes. He's like, I'm a monster. I'm gonna lift it.
Nice.
Yeah, you want to see that one right there, right? Where is it? Here we go. Right there, right?
Yes. That's the money shot right there.
That would have had a good contender on the prettiest powerlifter. So that was the other one from last week. We went through, I took a bunch of screenshots of lifts, and we clipped out people's faces, and my friend Christina picked her top 3. So it was that was a good one. One of our dudes, his face was, you see the outline on your video there? Well, it's got your name.
Yes.
Yeah, his face was about that red. So it was nuts. It was nuts. He won for that one. So Thomas gets some bonus points for his submission, by the way, for having the GC banner in the background. You can see it in the mirror there. So good work, dude.
That was a snipe right there. I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
I will send out emails to our winners. I'm going to get on that here in just a little bit. I have not sent out any for the week yet. I'm behind. But so that's our winner for today. I will be back tomorrow with some more prize announcements, as well as Friday. And then I'll wrap it up next week with one more live stream where we do just data and fun stuff and look at some goofy things with who lifted what, where, when, why. Yogi, anything you want to leave the people with as I let you go?
So without giving anything away, we are working on a lot of fun stuff. If people thought the Hyper Pro was an innovative piece of equipment or really good or whatever, but there's so much more to come. So guys, definitely keep an eye out. We got a lot more stuff coming for you guys.
Cool. I like it. I'm going to get it before any of you do. So make sure you're checking that out, because I will tease you and make sure you want it even more than you already did. So
look, my big thing with Joe is that I always tell him, I'm like, please don't break this. Please don't break this. We always send him stuff early to test, and he always breaks it. I always get a call. Yeah. So next time, every time I send it to him, the first call I get from him, I'm always afraid to pick it up. I'm like, he broke it.
I send you the video and then I laugh, and so you told me last time I don't want to hear that laugh anymore. So
He literally broke one of our prototypes, and it goes, ha 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 ha. I was like, that was the most maniacal laugh I've ever heard.
Yeah. No, I've been very happy being behind the scenes and testing stuff for you guys. You know, Marcus. Do you know Marcus Twisted Barbell? He was on Monday. Yeah. So Marcus and I were talking. Yeah. So Marcus and I were talking about you and how the biggest thing we've noticed with you guys versus some other companies that I've worked with over the years is that even as much as there's been times where I've sent you like, this is all the crap I don't like or whatever, right? It's always like, okay, cool, thanks. And then like you work on it, right? As opposed to, this, why are we even working with this guy? Like he's a pain in the butt or, you know, whatever kind of thing. And then it's always nice to see the round 2 and the refinements. And like, you know, I know like with the leg developer was one, we worked on how to improve the stability and everything with it. And that's how you guys ended up with like the, that kind of twisting mechanism that locks into place and stuff. And so, which, all the reviewers so far have been like, hey, this works really well. Like, this is cool. And I kind of go, oh, yeah, I agree.
Look, my first instinct, okay, is when you give me a list of feedback that's like this tall, my first instinct is to just crumble that paper.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. But then he's like, no, we have to care.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
God.
No, the one I always use is back in my corporate life, I put out this course that I was really happy with because I was in HR, right? They put out this course and like we had like 1,000 people rate it, which is really weird. Normally it's like 12. But so people like went out of their way to give us a whole bunch of feedback like, hey, this was great, etc. Right. And then I had like 3 people who commented and were like, it wasn't long enough, or like, hey, I didn't really like the jokes you put in there, right? Like things like that. And like my instant reaction was like, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna strangle you, right? Like, and then I just went, you had to step back and go, no, that's not the way you take feedback, because then you never feedback again.
Well, Joe, just know I know where you live, okay?
You do. Yeah. For whatever reason, the stuff you send me every time gets locked at the border, though. So
hey, that's more to say with you than to say with us.
All right, man. I'll let you go. Thanks for your time today. Everybody, keep an eye on Freak Athlete because they got some good stuff coming. I have some insights into a few things that I'm really excited about, and I will be sure to share with you when I can. And that will be the end of our live stream tonight. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Peace, guys.